I just want to make sure that you can hear me well now that I'm mic'd. Okay, great. Excellent. So you probably already are, but finding your way to your seat. And again, sometimes a little bit of lift under the sitting bones, like a blanket or a pillow, can be helpful. And you might just kind of adjust how you're sitting in small ways, maybe leaning backward a little bit, forward, side to side, just to kind of feel your body settling into that support of your chair. Starting to feel into how you can be settled, but also upright and wakeful. You might choose to close your eyes. You're welcome to keep your eyes open with a soft gaze if you prefer that. And if it feels okay, just for a moment, noticing what it feels like to be here. So really maybe any part of the body that feels alive right now. Any thoughts that are here with you today. Just whatever it's like to be you right now. Letting it just be a few moments of really welcoming yourself just as you are, of just honoring your experience. It might feel useful to have a few breaths where we'll breathe in through the nose and just breathing out through the mouth, maybe with some sound. And as you explore those breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, maybe another time or two, letting it be kind of cleansing. So again, it's just this process of arriving here, being here. Nothing else to do. You might choose to have your hands resting on your legs with the palms down or the palms up. And in the next few breaths, if you're able to breathe just through your nose, you could explore what it feels like to breathe through the nose. Any sounds, sensations, and movements that accompany that breath. I like to think of that attentiveness to the breath as just deepening awareness inside a little bit. Deepening awareness of your experience. And if it feels useful to you, and you could do what I'm about to describe, or you could just keep breathing just as you are. Either way is really fine. You might, if it seems helpful, you could bring your index fingers to your navel. So I'm just touching my navel with both index fingers. And then bringing the thumbs 2 inches to the sides of the navel where the index fingers are resting. Holding the thumbs in that on those spots to either side of the navel, and then bringing the index fingers 2 inches below the navel. So then we just kind of swing those down. And so just with your fingertips kind of locating under the index finger that area of the low belly. And then as you're breathing in, you might feel that area expanding a little bit naturally. And then as you're breathing out, you might notice that area naturally kind of draws in towards the spine and maybe slightly up towards the crown of the head. And so you could repeat that a time or two, just feeling the breath in, that expanding of the abdomen, the exhale, the breath out, a natural toning and lifting. And if it feels okay after the next few breaths, you might exhale, feel that drawing in and up of the low belly below the index fingers, and then maintain that lift as you inhale. Maintain that lift as you exhale. And you might even think of it more as a hug, like a hugging in of the low belly, just for support. And you can just let your hands rest on your legs again and continue breathing. So just for another few rounds of breath, exploring kind of what the right amount of awareness is for you in that area. Again, exploring it as really a supportive gesture and maybe noticing how you can sit a little taller with a little more ease. So with the next exhale, let's just tip the head forward. And if the eyes were closed, you could open your eyes and just take in surroundings with the eyes and then just lift the gaze forward. Okay, so we'll take the right arm around to the skin of the temple on the left side. Oh, and we'll reach the left arm out at 45 degrees. Sorry. So left arm reaching out at 45 degrees, right hand touching the temple skin on the left side of the head. And then there's just this gesture of lengthening from the left fingertips to the skin of the temple. Inhaling here. And then as you exhale, it's not pulling the head, you're just tipping the head to the right ear towards right shoulder. And then you could add this element of the tongue sticking down towards the ground out of the right corner of the mouth, breathing 3 breaths through the nose. Just noticing any sounds, sensations, movements that accompany the breath. And we'll have one more breath inhaling here. One more exhale. And then inhale, you can release that stretch, that shape, and just pause, exhaling. Okay, let's try the right side. So right arm reaching out at that 45-degree angle. Left hand coming around just to kind of create this feeling of elongation from the right fingertips to the skin of the temple on the right side of the head. And then just letting the head drop to the left ear, or the ear drop to the shoulder, I should say. And then just that lengthening through the fingertips, through the neck. Maybe you drop the tongue out of the left corner of the mouth and breathe 3 breaths through the nose. Just inhaling and exhaling. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then we'll just inhale, release that one. And exhale just to pause and feel. Just noticing again what it's like to be you right now. Just welcoming yourself just as you are. Let's bring the palms in together in front of the chest. And so the palms are touching, and you might just notice sensation in the hands, whatever that sensation is right now. And then just spinning the thumbs just slightly in towards the sternum. So the fingers turn so they point straight up. And then maybe you can bring your wrists down a little bit towards your lap. So you're just spinning the thumbs in and kind of bending more at the wrist, palms pressing together. And then you might notice as you inhale some widening to the collarbones, sitting tall through the crown of the head. Exhale here. And then when you find your next inhale, we'll just open the arms wide, breathing in, yes. And then exhaling, bringing the palms back in, touching each other. And then inhale, the arms can reach up with the palms facing forward. And then exhale, palms back in. We'll do that again a couple more times. Inhaling, stretching the arms wide, expanding the chest. Exhaling, bringing the palms back in. Overhead on the inhale, so the arms reach up, stretch up, good. And then exhale, palms in. One more time, same thing, arms wide, inhale, expand the chest, exhale, palms together. And again, arms overhead, breathing in, stretching up, and then palms back in, exhaling. Let's just have one more inhale here, sitting up tall from that hug below the navel, rising through the crown of the head. And then exhale, just release the hands onto the lap. So we'll take the right arm and just do a few circles. We'll start with the backstroke. So about 5 in each direction. So right arm just circling back and around. And as much as possible, really staying in a pain-free range of motion there. So you just adjust the circle to suit your experience. And then let's circle one more time with that right arm. And then we'll switch directions. So now we come forward and around about 5 times. And just let your breath be natural. Maybe you're breathing through the nose and that gentle hug below the navel for support. And then one more circle coming forward and around. And let the right hand rest on your lap. Okay, let's do the other side. So left arm, backstroke about 5 times. And you're welcome to, let as much of your torso and your body move as you like. Just see what feels good today. Let's have about 2 more. Just gently hugging the belly in, kind of as support for your torso. And one more backward circle, and then we'll switch directions. So coming forward and around with the left arm. Breathing. And we'll just have one more circling, and then you can let that hand rest. I just have my hands on my upper legs, and you could just pause for a moment and just notice what it feels like. So we'll do a few rounds of our kind of spinal movements, arching and rounding the back. So hands resting on the tops of the thighs. As you inhale, you could roll your shoulders back, arch the back and look up any amount. And as you exhale, do the opposite. Drop the tailbone, hug the low belly in, round the back and bow the head. And we'll do that again, breathing in, just rolling the shoulders back, arching the back, looking up, and then breathing out, rounding the back, dropping the tail, and tucking the chin. Do that a couple more times, just inhaling, rolling back, arching, looking up, and exhaling, curling in. So we're going to do 2 more rounds of this with the option to pull one knee in at a time on the exhale. So as you inhale, arching the back, lifting the chest, looking up. And then this time as you exhale, you might choose to pull your right knee in towards your nose as you round the back and exhale. And then right foot to the floor as you inhale, arching the back. One more time. This time on the exhale, rounding, you might choose to pull your left knee in. And then inhale, left foot to the floor. Maybe a little bit of arching the back. And then exhale, just to neutral. So we're going to do our, we'll do one more thing before sun salutations. This time we'll circle the torso around. So I'm kind of moving to the side, to the front, to the other side, and to the back. So you just start moving in one direction. And with all of these movements, they can be as big or as small as works for you right now. So really adjusting to suit your needs. And then let's just switch directions. So we're circling, but we're going the other way. And maybe there's a part of your body that feels interesting as you're doing this. You could feel free to kind of linger with that and explore it. And then coming back to neutral. Yes. And so just a moment to pause and feel. Sometimes it's, for me, helpful to close the eyes to do that kind of moment of really listening inside. Just whatever sounds, sensations, movements are here. And then if your eyes were closed, you might open them. We're going to do our sun salutations, but add a side bend on each side at the beginning. So we'll begin by reaching the arms up on the inhale, just stretching the arms up. And then on the exhale, let the right arm come down and just any amount you lean to the right. So I have my left arm lifted and just a little bit leaning to the right. And then lift the right arm as you breathe in. So both arms are up and overhead again. And then other side, left arm coming down and just any amount leaning to the left on the exhale. And then as you inhale again, lift the left arm back up and overhead. Now, as you exhale, arms wide, as you fold over your legs, any amount. And then you can bring your hands to your knees or shins and look up, just lengthening your spine as you inhale. And then softening down, maybe surrendering the weight of the head down as you exhale. And then rising again. Breathing in, you could circle your arms up and overhead, maybe even look up, and then just bring the arms down like you're swimming, exhaling. Let's do that a couple more times. Same thing, breathing in, reaching the arms up and overhead, and then exhaling, just the right arm comes down, and you could lean to the right, maybe just a tiny bit. And then on the inhale, the right arm can lift back up to meet the left arm. And then whenever you exhale, just let your left arm come down and any amount leaning to the left. And then inhale, let the left arm lift up and overhead again. And whenever you exhale, just arms wide and lean forward over your legs, any amount, hugging in the low belly there. And then lengthening the spine, the belly as you inhale and look up. And then exhale, just softening all the way down. As you soften down, hug the belly in. Pressing into the feet, inhaling, standing up, or sitting up, arms reaching up, maybe looking up. And then like you're swimming, just reaching wide and down, exhaling, hugging the belly, rising through the crown. Let's do that same thing one final time. Breathing in, reaching the arms back up and overhead. Exhaling, dropping the right arm and leaning any amount to the right. And then inhaling, right arm lifting up to meet the left arm. And then exhaling, dropping the left arm and leaning in. And then breathing in, let the left arm lift up and maybe you look up. And then exhale, you just lean forward over the legs, stretch the arms wide and down, hug the belly in as you fold. Lengthen the belly and the torso, maybe look up, inhaling. Yeah, and then exhaling, softening all the way down. Pressing into the feet, inhaling, circling the arms up and overhead, rising, reaching, looking up, and then arms wide and down, exhaling. And just a moment to pause and feel. Just notice what it's like to be you right now. Yeah, so we're going to do, we've done this once before, but a little bit, just a minute or so of this kind of tapping. So a couple ways you could do this, and you could make up your own way, but sometimes it feels good to just have fingertips. And I'll just demonstrate, I'm just tapping my fingertips up and down my left arm right now. And then I would do the other side. Or you could use a loose fist. So I just have like a loose fist and I might kind of just gently kind of wrap on my arm, maybe on my legs, going all the way down on the insides and the outsides of the legs. Another option is just like a little bit of like a hand, like a chop going around the body. So you can kind of pick whatever feels good to you, whether it's fingertips or a loose fist or a chop, and just explore different areas. Sometimes right under the collarbones, even gently on the abdomen, maybe even on the kidney area, kind of in your back or around your sacrum. So it's just gentle, just kind of enlivening the body. I'm going to go down my legs again a few times, just kind of waking things up. all over. Wherever is asking for your attention. You could even kind of get your face. I like to tap a little bit on my jaw, the muscles of the jaw, maybe even the head. And then after the next just moment, go ahead and come to stillness. So just let the arms, whatever the hands and arms have been doing, just let them rest on your lap. Maybe close your eyes. And just welcoming your experience, whatever it is, maybe body as a field of sensation, aliveness. Okay. So from here, you can open your eyes if they're closed. We can just kind of, if it's helpful, lean back a little bit so that we can lift the right leg and place right ankle on left thigh. So for this hip stretch, it's always a nice one to do. And if it feels like it needs support, hold your leg with your hands so that it's not, the weight of the leg doesn't feel like too much on the hip or the knee. You can always hold and support your leg with your hands. If it feels okay to just let it rest, you can do that. And then we'll just start by circling the right ankle around a few times. Just kind of articulating the ankle in one direction, maybe switching directions. See how that feels. Yeah. And then just bringing the foot and ankle to stillness. Again, it's different day to day, week to week. So you might feel like leaning back is better for you in this stretch to give a little more space. You might find that you'd like to lean over the legs a little bit and kind of feel into that stretch in the hip, or maybe you feel it in your sacrum, in your lower back, that area. But just being attentive, supporting your torso, your spine with your hugging below the navel, that lift of the belly, and full deep breathing. Let's find another inhale wherever you are, and another exhale. And then we'll inhale, rising back up. So if you were leaning forward, you come back up, and maybe you lean back a little bit just to release that right foot or that right leg and place the foot to the floor. And then we'll just do the same thing on the other side. So again, sometimes leaning back is helpful to lift the left leg and bring the left ankle to the right thigh. And then you may find that that leg needs some support with your hands to kind of hold it, which is just fine. You can offer that. Maybe it feels okay to just let it be there, and then circling the left ankle a few times in one direction. And then you can switch directions with the circling. Yeah, and then maybe bring the ankle and the foot to stillness. Breathing in, sitting up nice and tall. If you feel like it's better for you to lean back, you can do that. Maybe it feels okay to sink forward over the legs. And again, exploring how you can lean in, but also draw your belly in so you can support your lower back and your torso and your full deep breathing. Good. So let's find another breath, breathing in, and another breath, breathing out. And then coming out of the stretch on the inhale. So that might mean sitting back up. And then maybe exhaling, you lean back a little bit to release that left leg and place the foot to the floor. Okay, so we'll slide the right leg out now. And for me, for this one, I'm actually going to move the support that was under my bottom away. That may not be necessary for you, but for me, it's helpful here. I'm going to hold on to the seat of my chair for this. And first, we're just going to point and flex the foot about 5 times. So pointing the toes and flexing the foot. That's 1, pointing and flexing for 2, point and flex 3, point and flex 4. One more point and flex of the foot. Now we're going to lift and lower the leg. It could be lifting an inch. It could be lifting a foot. See what works for you. I like to hold on to the seat of the chair, use the left foot on the floor for support, and then inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, lower it down. 5 times, 4 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. That's 2. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 3. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 4. One more time. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. And then slide that right foot in to meet that left foot. Just noticing sensation. Let's do the other side. Left leg sliding out. So I just have my leg outstretched in front of me. Toes are pointing up to the ceiling. We're going to point the toes and flex the foot. That's 1. Pointing. Flexing. 2. Point. And flex. 3. Point. And flex. 4. Point. And flex. 5. That's the last one. And then we're going to lift and lower the leg. And again, any amount of lifting. Find that hug below the navel and then inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 1. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 2. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 3. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 4. And one more time. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lowering. And just bring that left foot in to meet the right foot. And just pause and notice. Just any sensations that are present. Any movements, any sounds. Okay, so we're going to take our feet wide with the knees bent. So I'm kind of sitting towards the front of the seat of my chair, and I just have my legs kind of in a wide squat position. And just to kind of engage the legs a little bit here, your feet are on the floor and you're not going to move them from the spot that they're on right now. But if you can imagine pulling your feet towards the legs of your chair and just see how that engages the muscles on your legs a little bit. And then if you could feel or imagine those points below the navel hugging in and lifting slightly towards the crown of the head, dropping the buttocks flesh and the tailbone down into the chair. And then let's inhale, stretch the arms up and overhead. Yes, and exhale, just bend the elbows wide with the palms facing forward. We'll do that 2 more times, just stretching the arms up, inhaling. Good, exhale, bend the elbows, pulling them down. Let's do it 1 more time, breathing in, stretching up out of the waist. Good, exhale, bending the elbows, pulling them down. Stay here, widening the collarbones as you inhale. Yes, and then exhale, just bring the arms down. We'll add the twist here, or a twist here. So right arm on the inside of the right leg. And my palm is turned open. I just have the back of my forearm touching the inside of my knee. Left hand on the left thigh. And I'm going to start to turn my chest to the left. And I'm kind of pressing into my right arm into my right leg. Maybe it feels good to kind of reach through the left arm up and back at an angle and feel that opening across the chest, hugging the belly in. Let's inhale here and exhale. Good. And then inhale, just release the stretch and just exhale, pause. Let's do it 1 more time on the other side. So left forearm coming on the inside of left thigh. Maybe right hand on the top of right thigh. And then there's that kind of pressing of the forearm into the leg there on the left side. Maybe you start to turn your chest to the right. You could even stretch your right arm up and open to the right. Maybe even gazing at the right hand. Inhaling, opening, widening the chest, exhaling 1 more time. And then you can release that stretch on the inhale And just pause, exhaling. Maybe you heel toe your legs a little bit closer together. Okay, so we're going to add in these kind of 2 other stretches that we tried the last couple of weeks. So scooting towards the right side of the chair. And I'm going to keep my left foot on the floor, just like it is right now. And I'm going to slide my right leg just straight out to the right. So both feet are on the floor, but the right leg is outstretched to the right, and the left foot is on the floor in front of me. And I have my right hand on my right thigh. I'm going to breathe in, reach the left arm up, lift up out of the waist on the left side, lifting up, and then exhale any amount. So it might not even be much movement. You just lean to the right, any amount. So lifting up out of the left side of the waist, inhaling, exhaling, leaning to the right a little bit, hugging the belly in. Good. One more exhale here. So you breathe in and you breathe out. And then let's inhale, bring the arms wide, parallel to the floor. Yes, and then exhale, slide the right leg in and bring the arms down. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So shifting over to the left side. Right foot on the floor, left leg stretching out. Feeling your feet on the ground, left hand on left thigh. Let's breathe in and reach the right arm up. And just feeling that lifting up out of the right side, hugging the belly in. As you exhale, you could start to lean to the left. And, you know, for me, I start to feel something pretty quickly, so I don't need to go very far. Just see what works for you. Hugging the belly in, lifting up out of the right side of the waist, leaning to the left. One more exhale. And then we'll come out of it. So we breathe in and breathe out one more time there. And then on the inhale, just come up and reach the arms wide so they're parallel to the floor. And then bring the arms down and the left foot in, exhaling. So we're going to try, start similarly and add a little bit to that shape. So let's scoot to the right side again. And so we're going to have, again, same starting thing, position, right leg reaching out to the right, sole of the foot on the floor. And then if it feels okay, you start to kind of like that wide squat position that we did with the left, but just with the left leg. So the thigh starts to open to the left and the toes are turned out to the left and the foot is on the floor. Maybe you can see my legs. So my hips and the bottom of my left thigh are supported on the chair. And then I'm just going to reach my arms wide so they're parallel to the floor. Feel the legs, breathing in, lifting up out of the waist, hugging the belly in, and breathing out. You might even choose to look at your left fingertips, reach into the outer edge of your right foot. Another inhale and another exhale here. And then on your next inhale, just let the arms come down and bring the right foot in to meet the left foot. That's warrior 2. Let's try that on the other side. So you can invoke your most powerful warrior that you have inside today. So we're sitting now with the left leg outstretched and then sliding that right thigh out. So opening that right thigh, right toes are turned out. Both feet are on the floor. And then inhaling, lifting the arms and reaching through the fingertips so the arms reach away from each other, parallel to the floor. Maybe you look at your right hand, reach into the outer edge of your left foot, draw the belly in, and just another couple of breaths here. So you inhale and exhale. One more breath breathing in, one more breath breathing out. And then inhale, we'll release that shape and bring the feet closer together, the bottom on the chair. And just a moment to pause. Maybe it would feel good for you to have a little bit of movement in your body. Maybe you just want to be still and notice. And just a couple more things here before we close. So when you find your next breath inhaling, you just let your arms reach up and overhead. We're going to twist to the right so the right arm can come behind you. And I like to grab the back of my chair and with my right hand and left hand to the right knee. And then just take your time. So I kind of let the head be the last thing to move into the twist, but just feeling that hug below the navel, rising to the collarbones, softening and turning to the right, breathing. Good. Let's find another inhale, another exhale. And then as you find your next inhale, you can release the twist. I like to let the arms reach up. You could do that if you like. And then we'll go to the other side. So exhaling left hand, maybe to the back of the chair, right hand to the left knee. And then just take your time. So you're just breathing, inhaling and exhaling, and seeing what it feels like to start to turn. And just finding that lift below the navel just for support, right? To really be grounded and steady here. Notice the sounds, sensations, movements in the body. Another inhale and another exhale. And then let's release the twist. So breathing in, you could let your arms lift up. And then exhale, just bring the arms all the way down, maybe resting on the knees or the lap, and you could close your eyes just for a moment. Just noticing what it's like to be here, just with your body and your mind, with one another. And as we close together, I think it can be helpful to just kind of sit with that presence and just take a moment to sense what feels important to you today. And as I've said before, there doesn't have to be any specific response or content that arises in response. It's just taking the time to be interested in what you care about. Just maybe sensing how just being awake, being present might serve you as you move through the rest of your day. Thank you so much for getting here today.